Hey, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I hope you have a great Saturday morning. Probably you have your breakfast, your coffee, your eggs on the table. It's a pleasure to have you here with us today. Today is going to be a kind of different live stream because it's going to be dedicated for Father's Day. We are going to be your hosts this morning. My colleague Andrew.
Yes.
Hello. Who is an application specialist and field service engineer. He has a lot of experience on both press brakes and laser machines. And myself, Humberto, will be hosting the little presentation we're going to have today. As we said, it's going to be Father's Day special. So we're going to do this a little bit more different. What we want to do, if you are able to stay with us until the end of the live stream, and you ask some questions, we're going to do a draw at the end of the show. And we're going to give a gift card, $50 gift card. So you can do whatever you want.
Beer for Dad.
Beer or whatever. So just be patient until the end, and we'll be very happy. So right now we are in the installation of Access Machinery. Some people you've been here before. If you are not, you are welcome. You should come. It's a nice facility. We have actually 4 press brakes, 1 laser running full time, and it's a very professional. We have a professional demo lab. It's very welcoming, and we are based in Vaughan, Ontario. Access Machinery is a dealer for Durma in Canada, and this company, we offer press brakes, lasers, shears, metal forming equipment. Durma, as you know, it's a company that started by 1956 with press brakes. Now they have around 60,000 machines installed worldwide, and they make all type of equipment for metal forming. In Canada, they have around 2,000 machines with different types and sizes. And Access Machinery, through Access Machinery, we have also about 12 people working in the facility. We support our customers both in English and in French, right? So we're gonna just start today. We're gonna talk about the press brakes. As you know, Durma, they offer mostly 3 types of machines: the conventional hydraulic press brake, the hydro servo press brake, and the electrical press brake. So today's turn, we're going to talk about the electrical. Behind me, we have a 40-ton, 1.2 meter press brake. It's called the ADES, and it's fully electrical. This machine, as you can see, have different features, different advantages that can offer you versus other type of equipment. I'm just going to do a little overview, and we can go into a little more detail. As you can see, it's a compact machine. It's ergonomic, has very high quality components without sacrificing, and can offer good value. It's very energy efficient, it's very simple to use, low maintenance, bends really, really fast, can make a lot of parts in less time versus other machines, and as I said, maintenance is very, very low on these machines. Right, Andrew?
That's absolutely right. As Humberto said, this is a fully electric machine, unique in its own right because it doesn't have oil or anything like that. It's not even a hybrid servo system. This is direct servo directly coupled to the ram through a dual pulley system, which gives not only the speed, but the tonnage for the machine. So these servos right here are actually Bosch Rexroth servos that on top that move the ram, and the back cage here, in this case, is a 4-axis back cage with Yaskawa servos, just like our other machines we saw in our earlier live streams. So this machine is very well featured. It may be small, but it packs a punch. So this is a good machine for that.
So you're saying this is a monoblock machine, which is just one frame. You have Yaskawa components, Siemens.
Yes, and Siemens Electronics for stability. Yeah, these are all well-known names in the industry.
Bosch Rexroth. I see you have wheel clamping as well?
Yes, we're about to get into the hydraulic clamping here as well, and you'll see many examples of me putting tools in, and absolutely. Makes your tool changes very quick, and especially on a machine like this, the tool changer makes a big difference in that regard here. But yeah, as you were saying with the monoblock frame, if you just watch up there, you can see solid block here, right there. Very, very stable machine. Despite its size, very rigid, very stable machine. We even have a crowning system on this machine. Some of you might say that's overkill for a machine this size, but if you want to get to those under half-degree accuracies, the crowning is a good feature to have on this machine. Otherwise, you can go with a manual crowning system. It's still accurate as well.
So I can tell that's easy to access too.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
You want to do something there too? Everything.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point about the easy to access too, because we have lots of ergonomics here. As you can see, my little coffee table here is actually an operator table, so they have an easy time here. So the important thing is that, yes, an electric press brake can bend very quickly, much more quickly than a hydraulic or even a servo system. However, the bottleneck is still the operator. If he's not comfortable and his back hurts, he's going to be doing stretches halfway through bending. So if he's able to, be relaxed, sit down here, work at a nice height, bend those parts very quickly, you'll see how much faster he can move because he's no longer the bottleneck. Now we work with the machine and human together.
Well, guys, you have to understand, you're used to see like a 10, 12, 20 foot long press brakes to bend big parts. But when you're looking at a small machine, usually the application is meant to bend hundreds, if not thousands of small parts. And it can be very tedious for the operator, right? It can be sometimes even boring. So the operator needs to be as comfortable as he can be set down. Obviously, as you can see, I can see the table. I guess it goes up, it goes down, it goes back and forth. I like the material. It's like a high-density nylon, which I guess during the cold times or the hot times is not even, doesn't affect you. It can be very comfortable.
Yeah, the comfort there too, and the other follows as well because you can have stainless steel and steel parts. If you were driving across a steel surface, what do you think happens to these parts?
It scratches and it's going to wear really fast.
That's right, that's why we're with this table.
Yeah, so I can tell that there's a rest leg there for the operator as well. It's really close to the controller, so the operator doesn't need to move around, so making more very high torque as well. Oh, I like that. And then you can bring a shirt.
Yeah, you know what, you still, I'm going to take a seat.
Yeah, awesome.
There you go. Good to be comfy here.
Yeah.
So that's why we have comfort in this machine.
Yeah. Is there anything that we want to see? Are we going to see this machine running? Or?
No, we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, okay. You don't want to do anything? Of course. Yeah?
Yes, absolutely. Let's get right to the bending, okay? Simulate 3D bending here, lets you check for collisions, and see how that part is supposed to be placed. Once in control, you can make quick adjustments. This part here is a steel part. This one's actually 9 or 11 gauge. Despite being 11 gauge, this brake has no problem bending this part. We even have large acute angles here. At 45 degrees we just bend. This part requires very complex tooling, as you can see here. This is why it's important to have that user interface, because if these tools are not in the exact location you see here, it would be very difficult to bend this part. With the high degree of accuracy you see here, you can see how complex this part's coming together, but no problem for this machine. All right, look what we got here, Umberto. It's a bottle opener.
Oh.
Mounted on the wall. Right for Dad, just in time for Dad's Day.
Right for the beer.
That's right. So as you can see on this part, when you saw it bending, there's a lot going on in this part. So you need the high accuracy of not just the back gauge, but the ram, the crowning, the tooling placement, everything has to go together and make a part like this easy to even bend repeatedly over and over again. Lots going on here, very acute angles, many different things going on, but no problem for this machine.
No, that's awesome. And maybe something that we want to talk about. Nowadays, customers, when are looking for equipment, they don't want to go, they don't want to waste a lot of time on training operators. Also, we want to show how easy this thing is to operate.
Of course.
Right? For me, for a guy like this, like, yeah, it looks like a complex system, but honestly, can show you how easy it is to.
Exactly. Well, with the touch screen here, you can see that, what you saw on the interface there, that, you know, I can make bends very quickly just by touching numbers here and all that. The touch screen interface, you know, if you can learn your phone, I guarantee you can learn this. Guaranteed.
So pretty much you can draw your profile on the screen.
Absolutely. That's right. You touch it around with your hand.
What will be the next step?
Next step would be to go to your tool setup. So you can select it from what you know should be bending it, or you can even press auto select and it's even easier. Just press one button and
So
it's happy.
the computer will actually select the type of function, the type of light you have to put in inside the machine. If you already have some punches and dies in stock, you can feed the machine what you have, and then you can find it to the warehouse what you have.
Correct. You have a full database. That's right.
Also, you can see on the controller like a 3D part. You know, can we see the steps, the process, how to grab it, how to bend it.
Exactly.
We want to have the experience, make the experience easy as possible, and the learning curve should be as short as possible too. Because usually, when you drop one of these systems on the floor, customers, they want to start bending and be in production as soon as they can.
Return on investment.
Right? So that's very important, and it looks like the tooling also is very easy to install. I don't.
That's right.
It's hydraulic too.
Yep. Yeah, actually, I'd love to show you that on our next showcase, if you're ready for that.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Showcase time. The great part about the Delum Touch interface that we have here is that we can store multiple programs even together. So we can flip back and forth very easily between two parts, simulate them, and keep bending them back and forth as needed. Tool changes are a cinch with the Willa hydraulic clamping system, as you can see here. Along with the tooling interface on the screen, it tells me exactly where I need to put these tools, so it's as simple as just, again, following the numbers and putting the tools in. One click of a button and the tools are clamped. Now we can start bending. This is a thin stainless steel part. And, you know, I'm very excited to show you what this is going to turn out to be. The bends are a little bit simpler on this part, but the point is that the tooling setup is still done for me, so now I can do this all in one stage across the bed, despite this being considered a smaller machine. The system already knows to move over to the smaller station and shows me that on the screen. The R-axis back gauging makes it easy to back gauge off of bent parts already. The light barrier system hesitated there to show and make sure my fingers are not in the way while I confirm that it's actually a bend and not my finger being bent. Despite the light barrier working as is, it's always able to override it, so it never blocks you from being able to bend parts. All right, so can you guess what this part is, Umberto? Don't worry, I'll tell you. It's a smoker box for a barbecue. So you put your wood chips inside. You put it on top, you put it on your bottom grill, and there you go.
can smoke your,
That's right.
your salmon.
Well, yeah, if you're a salmon guy, that's right.
Yeah, we should put some put it barbecue today.
Okay, you're barbecuing then. You're gonna try it out.
I have no problem with that. Yeah.
All right, so this part, yeah, as you can see here, long bends, but despite the bed being smaller, it actually supported two types of bends on this over here. And of course, this needs to be accurate because this lid needs to go on properly. So this is a nice example part here of many things you can create on it. And again, another perfect gift for Dad.
That's awesome. Thank you, Andrew.
No problem.
Yeah, so now we're talking about an electrical press brake. We want to understand also the difference versus hydraulic press brake. And we talk about the maintenance, how this works. Why is more efficient on the maintenance side?
Well, the big part is the oil, number one, because with any hydraulic press brake, oil has to be changed. And if you don't change oil, your accuracy actually changes because when oil gets used, it starts to get a little bit thinner, and then your oil is the main decider of how your bends turn out, okay? So, and then you also got cold and hot. If you come in early in the morning, your bends are gonna be different than they are in the afternoon once the machine's warmed up. So that's another inefficiency there. So again, electric is not subject to this.
So what drives the ram up and down?
A dual pulley system with a ball screw up and down that brings the ram to give it the torque and the speed together.
So the pulley system, I don't know, we can draw it with a hand.
Yeah, that's right. So that's right. It goes like this. So they both move and pull each other together to give you that force.
So you're going to put oil, probably filters also.
Yeah, of course, oil filters. So the environmental impact just alone.
And by having like a belt like that, obviously the acceleration speeds are greatly improved.
Correct. Yeah, especially the up speeds. Up speeds are very quick on these machines.
Okay, so I guess that translates on faster bends then.
Well, yeah, because that's part of the bending process. It's not just about how fast you can go down, it's how fast you can go up and down.
So in terms of bending, a electric compressor will probably fast way more rapidly because the acceleration and the speed. So I understand this machine can bend probably twice as fast as a conventional press brake.
Well, especially with the comfort features, yes, because your operator can keep up as well.
And if you see that, that will be translated on less costs, more parts per hour, better margins. Right. And better opportunities for a customer to get more business.
That's right. And then speaking of cost, a lot less power usage on this machine, as you can imagine. A lot less. Like significantly less.
And we talk about the energy efficiency too.
Exactly, a lot less. So that's why with the energy draw on this machine being so low, even when it's sitting here idle, you see how it's dead silent? Nothing's running right now. It's just sitting here. Idle is a big part of the waste on hydraulic systems because the motor has to keep running.
Okay. So even though this is an electrical press brake, you're going to be saving up to 50% on energy costs. Easily on this machine. Oh, I think we went through all the features here.
Yeah.
Is there anything that we want to do? Or?
Yeah, well, you know what? One more showcase.
You have one more?
That's right.
Okay.
Let's do one more. Perfect. Here we go. Programming out simple parts can be very easy. On the screen, as you see here, we touched and made a quick flange. We can simulate it, and then we move on to the control. Again, these are all stored in the control, so we can quickly switch back and forth. Along with the hydraulic clamping, it makes it very easy to go back and forth between jobs, regardless of thickness and material. Even very narrow setups such as this are accurate because of the ruler along the top, and on the touchscreen interface, it shows me exactly where to put it. Just putting tools in half the time is most of the wasted time on press brakes, so this is a useful feature. This is a unique part that requires the Z1 and Z2 to move back and forth. This is being a 4 back gauge system. I need the Z1 and Z2 to be in completely different positions as I bend on different positions along the longer tooling here. Again, with the R axes, I can gauge against a 135-degree angle in this case, which is difficult to do with only a straight back gauge. Because of the numbered system here, I'm putting a flange right between some tooling here. No problem. Light barrier system, also again, seeing the flange there, so hesitation, you just need to confirm it. Safety first. All right, so this part is to help Dad get organized. So we call it Dad's weapon rack. That's right. So you have all your millimeters across here, and you hang your tools on it. And you know, you can even bend these out by hand. They could make a nice little cut here, and you can even hang sockets on them. So we got lots of hangers. Put this on your wall, be nice and organized.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, this part actually requires quite a bit of accuracy here. I'm bending right up to the edge of the flange here. It's important to have these angles right, so you need a lot of consistency to bend something like this.
And you're bringing a very important point, because we've been speaking about nice features, but sometimes the customer will ask, okay, this is really nice, we hear about this machine, but I need to, not only need to bend thousands of parts, but these parts, they need to look good, they need to be accurate, they need to be consistent from one to the next one. I don't want to measure every time I'm going to bend a part to make sure that I have to correct the machine. How precise is the system, and why it's so precise too, right?
Well, main reason is the high quality components, the high quality servos. We got also the crowning system as well. Back aging system's accurate. Again, Yaskawa servo, so
it
very
has smart CNC crowning.
correct.
built
Yes,
into this machine.
that's right.
Okay.
We can even take things further with angle measurement technology such as DAM.
So CNC crowning, what will keep a constant angle among both.
Correct, because of course with the bed you never have it perfect, especially as the bend is longer.
Yeah.
You always have some, that's why it's called crowning, you always have some flex in it, so the CNC crowning adjusts for that and talks back to the servos up top so they know what communicate between each other.
That's also very nice. Also, it's a safety machine.
That's right, you saw many times that the barrier stopped on the flange. That's to make sure my finger wasn't there, so I just have to confirm and the machine will continue bending.
Yeah, you just don't want to mess with that, but also the security is very important. That's the first point for sure. That I think we went through all the features of this machine.
Absolutely.
One thing that we have to add is that nowadays in 2020, Durma understand how to make machines, press brakes and lasers and other type of equipment. And we realize now that, let's go back to the laser, right? Probably you think it have to do a lot with the press brake, but the lasers, we've seen how rapidly they went from 2 kilowatts, 4 kilowatts, 6 kilowatts, 8, 12 kilowatts. They've been making and cutting parts really, really fast on the last couple of years, especially after the introduction of fiber laser. So it's good, but also it throws new issues, new problems. When you have an 8 or 6 or 12 kilowatt laser, you need to feed the machine with a lot of material, so you have to implement automation. But also, you are throwing a lot of parts, and when you are cutting that amount of parts, pretty much you're constipating the machine, and you need to put up sometimes you have to bend those parts, and you need press brakes to bend those parts. So you also need to improve the other side of the process of the end. And it's not only how fast you have to bend,
That's right.
right? Mm-hmm. But also the setup time, how fast you can put your tool in.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want your operator walking around, going back and forth, going to the shelf, looking at the manual. I don't know, I have to measure this, I have to figure out how to bend the part. But also something that is very important when a place, an office or a job shop,
Yes.
they get their files from other customers.
That's right.
They need to process these parts.
Actually, bring up a good point on that, actually.
And that's part of how fast they need to bend too, right?
So, speaking of customer parts in that case, you see we have debend here. I have a simulation telling me how to bend the parts. So, just as you said, a customer's going to send you a part. You may not even be able to bend it. And when are you going to find out? When you already lasered it and brought it here and realized, oh, we don't have the tooling for that, or we're going to need something extra. With the debend software, I can tell even before I cut it if I can even bend this parts with my current tooling. And you can either decide, yes, I want to quote this job, for example, or let's quote this job and invest in some tooling so we can consider doing more. And now, right from the beginning, I already know. And on top of that, it gives you all the setup information, everything we just talked about, wasting time running around, looking for tools, grabbing all this. It's all set up here. Even the bends, where to bend, where to put the tooling, it's all in the debend software done for you, eliminating that step. Because you're right, you can laser as fast as you want, well, that's where we are, but you can't just move the bottleneck to this. Got to improve the process.
Sometimes you get a wrong file with problems, with issues,
That's
with
right.
bad bend allowance or
That's right.
keyholes. The software also helps you to reduce the downtime.
Correct, yeah. So this is works as metallic software here. So what happens here with this is that we do our bend deductions, V sizes over here, so we already have it, so we know what the bend radiuses are going to be. So then when we flatten the part out, we've already compensated all the deductions for the laser, so everything's perfect. Very accurate.
Thank you, Andrew.
No problem.
So we went through the whole run of the machine. We want to, I think we're ready for questions, right?
Actually, yeah, that'd be great. Remember, gift card.
Yeah.
Right, so,
Gift card, right?
yeah, you gotta win that gift card if you ask some questions.
So I'm getting the iPad here. And
Perfect.
Yes.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, let's take a look. So the first question, Steven, what is the maintenance required on this?
On this, very little. Again, very little. So just like with any machine, it's mostly just grease points on this, you know, on the back cage and on the ram. But without the oil, there's actually very little maintenance on this machine. Just keep your die holders clean, you keep your hydraulic clamping clean, and keep it oiled, and this machine will work happy for you. So very little maintenance on this machine.
Thank you. Kemal, please tell something about productivity. Is that bigger than the hydraulic press brake?
I'll let you take on that, Berto.
Yes, yeah, for sure. Like because we spoke that this machine can bed up to twice as fast. Also, lower times of maintenance too means that you can bend more parts in less time, and you want to reduce your costs for sure per part, right? That's going to translate on bigger margins and better opportunities to put for other customers and earn more business. That's pretty much.
Good question.
Yeah. Okay.
Should work.
Okay. Good. Thank you.
Just like a touchscreen.
Yeah. What production cost advantage this machine will offer compared to the? Oh, it's already. Okay. Erwin, what are the main differences between hydraulic brakes and electrical brakes?
Well, it's mainly the oil again. Oil, the accuracy, the environmental impact, the energy efficiency. Electric brakes are really becoming the future now, especially as the tonnage moves up, because there's only advantages. Do you know why? Well, like, why are we moving from gas cars to electric cars? The reasons are obvious. That's why we're moving in this direction. These are the creme de la creme of machines and press brakes.
Yeah, especially for high production and small parts.
Correct, especially right now, yes.
Because you have to be aware that there are limitations on the tonnage. Like after certain tonnage, you cannot use the electrical. You have to go back to the hydraulics, especially for a thick metal, big bed size, especially for that application. We have another question. Do you have bigger sizes? Yes. Well, on the electrical side, we have a 60-ton. It goes up to 2 liter, if I understand, right? Patrick, can we buy those bottle openers?
Yes, absolutely.
If you buy one of this, you can make hundreds of water openers, and you can have all
that's what cost to you.
Bottle opener that you can have for yourself.
Yeah, we can even do the draw for it too. Yeah, absolutely. We can throw that in there as well.
Yeah. So William has another question. Is this model can be adapted with automation in the future? That's a good one. Yeah.
Sorry?
Automation.
Oh, automate. Oh, yes, absolutely. Yes. So we talked about the operator comfort and the bottleneck there, of course, and why we want to speed that up. But you can take it even further, and yes, we can put a robotic arm right on this machine. This machine is well suited for that because a lot of smaller parts are actually dangerous to back cage. And what I mean by that is that sometimes you actually have to back cage from the back. You've probably seen your operator sticking hands through tooling, and yikes, that's kind of dicey. So robotic arms don't have that limitation, of course, because, you know, as much as we care about robots, we don't care. We put the machine behind it and we can back cage from the back. We can take really tiny flanges that would be impossible to grab with your fingers or dangerous to grab with your fingers, go close, and, you know, just in case those lot times, you know, over lunch and all, you can continue bending, so
or during the night.
Right into the night, correct. That's right.
There's also an optional robotic cell.
Correct,
Which is
yeah.
fully enclosed.
Fully enclosed, safe.
That's a robot that is able to grab the piece of material and then bend it itself and then throw it in next to it.
Yes, and organize it. Yes.
Organize it. Then we have Dexter. Electric is more accurate. It's more ideal if you're working with little room, big reduction in strap. Yeah, what is this question? Oh. Okay.
Oh yes, to answer your question, you make good points there, but yes, absolutely. I'm glad you're summarizing what we said. Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, and we have
We got good listeners today is what we have.
Yeah. Can we add on this model robotic fitting? Okay, that's another.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
already answered.
We
the
talked a
question.
lot about it. Nice little cell there. Many applications for this. Perfect. Do we have any more questions?
Let's wait if there's any other questions.
All right, so you know what that means then, right? All those great questions means Draw time.
Oh, it's draw time.
That's right.
Yep. So it's draw time. Who's gonna get the $50 gift card?
Bigger card.
MasterCard, so you can spend whatever you want with this. And we have the little magical box.
Perfect.
So you did a good job, Andrew, so you can take the privilege.
Perfect. Let's see who the lucky winner is. All right.
Don't take two. Okay, one. Good.
Okay. Steven, you're the winner. There you go. Congratulations, Steven, and thank you for your question. And, of course, we'll call us in so to get your gift card in. And again, if you want any of these, if you want a smoker or a bottle opener, I'll throw that in too, no problem. Perfect. Congratulations, Steven.
Well, this marks the end of the live stream today. Once again, we want to thank you for being with us. It's a pleasure. And you want more information, you can always call Access Machinery. We can serve you both in English and French. And we wish you a great Saturday and enjoy your Father's Day weekend with your family.
Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you so much for watching. Thank you.